Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Sen Hui. I'm a cybersecurity consultant with CloudSign. So in today's video, what I'll be sharing with you is how anyone can enumerate your web server over the public internet. I will share with you what the tools that are being used. At the same time, how these tools can help to uncover some security vulnerabilities on the web server. And after which, I'll also share with you how you can actually harden your web server to prevent people from extracting sensitive information from your web server. So without further ado, let's get into it. So today, I'll be introducing 3 tools to you. So first is NMAP. NMAP is a network scanner tool used by a lot of penetration tester and is widely used by a lot of security specialists out there. What it does is that it actually discover hosts and services on a computer network. So how it works is by sending packets to the host and analyze the responses. So the second tool that I want to share with you is Dirb. And another tool that is very similar to Dirb is GoBuster. Basically, they are web content scanner tools. Basically, it works by launching an attack to brute force any directory based on the word list. So for Dirb itself, it actually comes with a pre-configured attack word list that you can use. But of course, you can also use your custom word list. And lastly is Nikto. Nikto is a vulnerability scanner. Basically, what it does is that it scans web servers for any dangerous files or any other server problems or any outdated server software or any other kind of problems. So first off, we will start with NMAP first because that's the most popular tool that people usually use. And let's see what we can find out from a domain or IP address that's given to you. So now we are at our Kali machine. So this is a attacker machine where people usually use to actually enumerate web servers and IP addresses, so on and so forth. So in today's demonstration, what we will be enumerating is this domain called demo.ryu.kyu. First of all, we don't know what exactly this server is. So it could be a web server or it could be other kinds of servers. So through this NMAP scan, hopefully we can find out a little bit more about what this server actually is. So first, we can actually do a light scan first, so that it will take lesser time to scan. So what we can do is first we can use the top ports, and we check what are the ports that are open. Okay, so this shouldn't take long. So as you can see here, these are the ports that are open. So if let's say your ports are being there's a firewall, what we want to find out is whether the ports are open. So there are different kind of state. So it's open, closed, or filtered. So closed means that the port is closed. And if it's filtered, it means that there's some firewall or other network obstacles that's blocking the port. So that like NMAP can't really tell whether is it open or closed. So in this case, you can see that there are 4 ports that are open based on the results. But of course, sometimes there may be some false positive. So what we want to do is to find a little bit more about all these ports. So basically, -A is to enable OS detection and version detection. Basically, it gives us a little bit more details on the services that are being used. So let's check it out. So this might take a while. So I've already did a pre-scan. So as you can see here, this port 22 is open. This is the SSH port, whereby you can establish a secure remote server connection. And this SMTP port, there's a question mark, couldn't establish connection on port 25. So this could be a positive. And now we have port 80. So port 80 usually is used for the web server. So as you can see here, now we know that most likely is a web server. And you can see that there's actually a robots.txt file. Basically, this file tells the search engine crawlers which URLs the crawler can access to your site. So we know that there's one disallow entry, so we can explore further. And we also found that there's actually an internal folder. So probably there might be something interesting inside. So we can actually find a little bit more later. So the HTTP title is a real estate landing page. And the rest doesn't seem important. So we can actually ignore it for now. So let's dig further on the things that we have discovered. So first, let's take a look at this. So this is the website. So this is just like a normal landing page. So first up, we've discovered that there's an internal folder. So, and we are right. And there's this file called ssh.txt. So let's take a look. Oh, so we have discovered something interesting. So this is the private key file. So basically, when they first launched the instance, they probably have established a user key pair. So first, we have already reviewed the private key file here. Probably for convenience sake, they want to share with some other colleagues. So that's why they put over here. But this pose a security risk because anyone who has the private key file can actually access to the web server. So what the user can do is actually they can actually copy and then save it and then use it later. Okay, so we can put this as the PM file. So this is what usually people use to actually log in to the remote server using SSH. So let's see. Okay, so you can actually paste it here, the private key file. So when we actually establish SSH connection, what we need is first of all, the PM file and also probably the username. So let's go back to the website again. So usually people, if let's say they are not security conscious, they will actually use some username that's commonly used, probably on the web page. So what security professionals will do is that they actually will go and crawl the website and then to form a word list with all these keywords that's being found. So like all these to try to do a brute force attack on the web server. So in this case, probably we just want to test it out. So for this demonstration, I will do is that I'll probably choose the one that is the most obvious one, which is this one. So probably the employee might set this as one of the user, Ben's nick. So let's give it a try to see whether it works or not. If it doesn't work, then we will try other keywords that is on the website. So let's come here. So let's clear first. So let's do a SSH now. So this is, so we go and put in the private key file, which is located here. And then what we'll do is to put in the username. And then we'll put in the host name, which in this case, the domain name. So let's see if we are able to log in. So as you can see here, we want to continue connecting and we are able to get in using all the information that we have found so far. Okay, so you can see now we have logged in as Ben's nick. Once they're able to log in, they can do a lot of things. I mean, they can do a defacement of the website. So let's see how they can do that. So usually there's a default directory where they put all the files in. So as you can see here, there's an internal folder, and there's also index.html, which is the one that is what we see here. So what the user can do is that they can actually go to the root folder, and then they can also go to home and then check out what other users are there. So they see that it's an EC2 user. So this is usually the default user account that was being set up when they use Amazon Linux 2. So they can even try to log in as an EC2 user to see whether they can gain to become a root or not. So if let's say Ben's name want to become a root, they can't. They probably prompt for a password. So let's see whether we can log in as a EC2 user using the same private key file. So exit. So now change to EC2 user. Say yes. And we try to see whether we can become a root user. And as here we became a root user. So next what we can do is we can go here. So over here, let's see. This is other files. So we can even modify the file. We can change the file name to be something else. To be O or something. Okay, so what they can do is they actually can, once they rename the file, they can actually get a deface website or deface web page and then put inside the folder. So we are getting this deface website from this host on GitHub. So let's take a look. So response okay. So let's check. That's not HTML. So as you can see now this is the deface page. So these are some of the damages they can do once they are able to access to your web server. So next, what you can also do is use another tool is Dirb. So this is to search for any directories in the web server based on pre-configured word list. So we can also do that. So we can do demo.ukyu. So give you some time to just to test it out. So as you can see here, these are the result. So this is something that we have already discovered internal, and we also discovered something interesting, which is the php info.php. So let's take a look. So as you can see here, we actually discovered a lot of the information on what PHP version is using. And once we are able to do that, we can actually find some exploits to actually exploit this PHP version. So there are a lot more things we can discover with this piece of document, like what are the configuration that has been configured in the system. So therefore, it also poses a security risk if, let's say, we review this and make it publicly accessible. So the rest of the information is something that we have discovered earlier on. So this is also a good tool for us to reinforce what we have discovered so far. So lastly, we can use a Nikto, which is the vulnerability scanner, to see if we can find any further information. So I need to put a host. So dash host, so the host name. So once he has scan finished, this is some of the things that he has discovered. So as you know, these are the things that we have discovered previously. So all these files. So there's no, it's able to discover more directory over here. So as you can see in the demonstration, once they are able to do a port scan, there are a lot of things they can find out from the results, and then they can try to actually compromise your server. So in conclusion, there are 4 tips I would like to share with you on how you can actually harden your web server. So first is make sure your web server is updated to the latest version. Make sure that there's no, it's not the vulnerable version, because attacker can actually use the information they have found from port scanning and find some exploits based on your web server version. Okay. Next is never review sensitive information that can be publicly accessible. So as you can see just now, if you put your private key file on your web server, anyone can access to it. So when you first launch an instance, you might have some default files that's been created. So also remove that, like for example, the php info.php file. If not, people will know what is your current configuration. You might give them more information on how they can attack your server. So close all the ports that you're not using. Use security groups, firewall rules. So this is to help to reduce the attack surface. So enable HTTPS on your server. So you do not want any traffic that's transmitted from your browser to the web server to be in plain text. Make sure that HTTPS is enabled to enforce a encrypted connection. So that's it for my short demonstration. I hope you have learned something out from this. So always be vigilant on securing your environment. If not, one small mistake can actually lead to a compromise of the whole system. So if you like this video, I appreciate you can give a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And I will see you in the next video.